Good morning, everybody. So, today is what? Today is Tuesday, my friend. All right, so we have 4 p.m. news at Joel's job opening. Okay, and we have 11 a.m. news for Euro 230 and 345. So this is gonna be not a heavy mover, and it's also outside the session. So I'm just gonna not focus on it for now. But we do have 4 p.m. news, which is for AM session. So let's get to it, shall we? So let me check Dixie right now and see what do we have here for the session. Let me see. Daily is looking a bit nice here. Let me see for hour. Okay. So I see this fair value gap here on 4 hour. And you also have this small fair value gap on 4 hour, which is in discounts. So I'll put that in, and nicely rejected from this. Nice, that's good. I'm looking here, maybe let me take this out. By the way, this is just all of them, so let me just take everything out and only put London, which is going to be starting right now in like 6 minutes. So pre-market, I'm looking, okay, we have respected this fair value gap on 4 hour. We have shown some displacement on the upside, broken structure here. The next draw is of course this LR that we have, so I'm just gonna make note of that. Let me see on hourly. Yeah, there's nothing clear. I'm not gonna go as far as that, but like this liquidity, it just seems to be the draw. So at the moment we are like right up there. I can expect something like coming maybe back down in this, or even in this would be ideal to see a more of an expansion. So something like that, or maybe like that. This would be the route basically that I would maybe look for. But again, I need to see more structured development here. 60 minutes is gonna be closed in like next hour, in the next 4 minutes here. So 15 minutes. I'm waiting to see if we can get some sort of action on this fair value gap here. So Dixie is looking bullish, so that makes it risk off for me. Right, so if it's risk off, that means the foreign currencies will tend to be heavier. On gold, we have this fair value gap here that it's right now rejecting. Now the thing is, if USD is going up, you have to be careful with gold, of course. But we're gonna see how that develops as well. And 15 minutes is closing in the next 3 minutes, so it's gonna give me more insight on how this is gonna play out. We have this high and this low here. 240 is yeah, we also have this fair value gap, that's a small one here on 4 hour. So we're gonna see how that reacts. Right, at the moment we are in this hourly fair value gap, and we are kind of respecting it at the consequent encroachment. The next hour is going to be closed in about 2 minutes, so we're going to see how that plays out, if it wants to respect this fair value gap and expand higher. But that should also build well with Dixie expanding higher, so we might look for some, I mean, for me at the moment I don't have anything. I need to wait for more development for gold And let's see, Euro USD daily 4 hour. Okay. The thing here is, look at Euro USD. Look at how ugly that is, right? Back and forth, back and forth. Now, I don't want to get chopped up in this, as I talked to you yesterday about it. You don't want to be caught like in this range. Basically, it's going to be really ugly if you do. So I'm not going to be interested in your USD, so I'm just going to take that out right now. USD JPY, let me see, what do we have here? So we are nicely reacting on this 4 hour. Let me just take out everything. We have this 4 hour fair value gap that the price is inside right now. So if I were to keep that, and if I go to 60 minutes, no structure here to work with. 15 minutes seems good. After reaction, we have inversion as well, which is kind of alright for now, but we need again more structure to see how that develops again. So for me, if I am looking at USD JPY at the moment, and if I'm also looking at Dixie, since Dixie is extremely bullish right now, for these highs at least, my eye goes for USD JPY to also expand higher to this LR right there, right? And let me see, that would build well with 15 minutes. If you do come down in this range, accumulate more longs, these LR must be taken out, right? This is the clean liquidity level, so let me just put it like that. Let me just put it like that. And again, the best thing about my strategy is I don't need this level to be hit. I need just a little movement in this draw in order to be profitable. So we have that. Let me see, Aussie 240. We are reacting nicely on this 4 hour here. And on 60 minutes, we have also the opposing liquidity of fair value gap resting just in discount. So let me just put that in already. And this is 4 hour. Now for me, let me see if we can at least trade to this level, because we have reacted off of a consequent encroachment here, right? And if I go to 5, that builds well as well with something like this, maybe to at least get to this level, the sell side here. That would be like an interest for me at this point on, but let's see how it forms. I need good ranges as well. Let me see the spreads on FTMO as well, what are we looking like. And I also need the position size calculator. That's really important, of course, that goes without saying. Aussie USD, let me see, what do we have? I mean, spreads are looking really clean. Spreads are not bad. Wow, this is literally really strong here. I want to see some expansion lower. So if I was to trade this, how would I trade it right now? The thing for me is maybe I would look for something like this, coming back inside this fair value gap again to go for lower. But since Dixie is really heavy, and I do like the structure here as well, let me see, let me take that out. USD JPY again is for looking for bulls. If we do get some sort of reaction from this coming down and then going up would also make it really good. Something like that. Gold is also looking nice, but still nothing has formed yet. I kind of like this trade here on this 5 minute. I might actually take this. Let me see if I can frame risk here. My risk would be, if I do go short here with this about 4 pips. I'm gonna wait and see how this develops, but this looks extremely good looking at what we have as a price. So let's see, the dollar is not even looking back. Dollar is like, all right, let's just move, I guess, which is good. And yeah, let's see how this closes here. Yeah, I would wait for more development. Maybe give it like another like 15-20 minutes to develop and give me more structure to work with. Let's see how this develops. I'm gonna look at it. Let's see. Alright, so let's see what has happened since then. So, okay, I mean, since we are like too deep around the terminus here, I do like this tap in and then just rolling over for this wave area, but let me see. Okay, this would be interesting. Now we are right at that level where I liked shorts, but I need to see more development, of course. I mean, this looks really good for me. USD JPY. The fact that the dollar is also showing a good rejection from discounts to premium just builds well with this. This is Dixie. Let's see. So for it to come all the way down there, it can happen, but it's unlikely, at least for now, until that level is tagged. Because if we are that close to, it's about 75%, right? So once we are in like 75% of the range, if you grade this high to this low, actually let me do it. We're above 75. If you are actually really bullish here, the price will tend not to spend a lot of time here. It would might just tag it in and then just purge through this. So that tends to happen. So we need to wait and see, like, if it really wants to do that. If that pushes higher, that would build well for this pair as well, to at least give us some range to work with. I like this Aussie trade, I'm not gonna lie. I like this sell here. Like, everything is just has it is, and it makes sense for me. The only thing I'm thinking about is it might go a little bit more deep in premiums than trade lower. But looking at this, I might take this trade here. So let me just see if I can frame a good risk here. The thing is, this is about 2 pips. So 2 pips is not going to be that beneficial. Maybe I would go as far as going 7 pips. So if I do go 7, right here. I don't want to go 7, that's the thing. Maybe 5 would do it, because it's 7, it might be outside the level I'm actually wanting to take trade on. So something like that would be fine. Let me just frame this risk real quick. I mean, bro, Dixie is so bullish, right? Like it just doesn't want to give any retracement lower. That's amazing to see. That will build well for gold if we do respect these levels for expansion down to this liquidity right there. That would also build well. Let's see if I... Oh, you know what? Also, let me just notify this on the... Now, my risk management is, of course, I think I talked about it already in the first video, is that once we get to 50%, my risk would come out 25% off. And once we get, of course, to 75 here, I would go break even. So this is the kind of trade idea that I have. Let me put that in the trade recap. Aussie USD. I think I should also put in the date, which is 1st April. London session. Man, yesterday was beautiful, right? The thing here, what is a win for me is that I follow my model, right? My model to like an absolution. Like there's no, what do you call it? There's no ambiguity here. It's literally spelled out. So I don't worry about if I get stopped out or not. The thing is, bro, yesterday was so beautiful. Like everything just happened to the plan. The only thing was I got stopped out prematurely, but again, this was my setup, so I don't care even if I got stopped out here, because I know I framed my risk nicely and I traded that. And then of course we had this beauty right here on USD JPY in London. It was just amazing to see that. And right now we have this trade here that's going in. So let's see how that develops. Going in the session, gold is nicely showing projection higher, which is great. Oops. Oh, what's going on? The thing for me is if I do get a good setup here, that would be it for the day, and I'm not going to be trading again, because why would you give your losses? I mean, by over trading, right? You can just give out your wins. The best thing about trading is you can stop yourself from getting right. Now I know it might seem like, what do you mean stop myself from getting right? Is, see, if you have a model to work with and you have got already one win for the session, just close it. The thing here is I'm trading funded accounts, right? I don't want this to get into a spiral of, okay, maybe let me just pass it really quick, and that mindset would just always result in a huge loss if you just keep doing it. But if you have a model you're working with, definitely do it. But at the same time, you also have to manage your risk. If you cannot manage your risk, you're not going to be long. Like you might be blowing funded accounts just because you do not have that consistency of managing risk. My risk management is very, very simple, right? And it's like a 3-step rule that I just follow and I don't deviate from it. It's like a mechanical, it's like I just do this. It's not discretionary where the way I enter trades is discretionary, but the way I manage my risk is mechanical. I think I have already posted that in my X. If you have not followed me on X, make sure you do, because I have some sauce here as well. 27 March was absolutely amazing. For Dow, I think I took it in PM session. Amazing trade. Let me get back what I here. My framework is discretionary, but my trade management, risk management is mechanical. For very long, that had impacted me. Having a strict risk management will always save you no matter what. Once you have an edge, you can shoot and let your risk management handle the rest. This is such an understatement, even the way I've exaggerated here. I mean, this is an understatement, bro. Risk management is like the top priority. You need to have an edge, don't get me wrong. Here, let me see, I think I did also put something about an edge. No? Here, simple set of rules that define an edge. It could be anything, it doesn't have to be ICT or anything. It could just be support and resistance. As long as you follow that like a model, like you don't deviate from it anymore. Now that edge coupled with the strict risk management, that can get you far in trading, because having an edge is one thing, but actually working with that edge and risking your money on that edge and managing that money is the actual part that of trading that I think not many talks about. Everybody just goes through like, okay, this is buy, this sell with this good indicator or anything. But if you don't have this component in your trading model, you are just gonna have a bad time, my friend. A bad time. Nice rejection here. By the way, I took this trade as well, so let me just show that really quick. Right here, I didn't mean to show the full, but like here, as you can see, we were entered nicely here. I'm gonna manage my risk the same way I'm doing here. I put this this box because on MT4 I just want to know like where I've entered my stop, and then I can project it. So 50% here is the same here. So at 50% I'm gonna reduce my risk here, and if we get to the 75%, which is right here, I'm gonna go break even, and that would be it. As you see, nice expansion higher now, which is extremely good. We also have this fair value gap. If it do tag this level, we might go a little bit deeper inside this. That would build well for heaviness. USD JPY is nicely doing that as well. Let me see. Now for me, if you look at Dixie, right? Look at the delivery post London. Oh, sorry, pre-London, not post-London. Pre-London delivery is a bit iffy, right? Like it's just inside this range. Now London has developed a really good range here. For me to say it might go tag this high would be a little bit more unrealistic, because look at this parabolic. It's not parabolic, but if you look at a lower enough time frame, it just looks like it just has gone up without any retracement to offer discounts. But if you are that bullish, and if you do form a good structure to work with and to get to these levels here, that would be the case. But my idea from here, as we started the stream, was this high, and this is beautifully traded too. Beautifully, like you cannot get perfect than this, man. This is literally the market. That was tagged. Beautiful. Now we just tagged it and now showed some little bit of retracement here. That built well for my this trade here, Aussie. So I'm gonna see if it wants to still reject this 15-minute or 5-minute fair value gap and roll over. That would build well for the shorts we are already in, but we need to see how this rejects. If you can accumulate some longs here in this fair value gap and go for like one more leg up higher, would be good. but we need to see how that forms. Gold is in this range. I mean, gold, yeah, it's still respecting that. I'm not going to touch gold really. USD JPY looks good, but we need to see if the dollar is still wanting to trade higher, would make more sense. And yeah, I mean, just wait and watch, I guess. What more can we do, right? I'm just gonna keep that in. It's gonna be NFP week on Friday. I mean, this week on Friday. So non-farm payroll can be a day where it can be a little bit more iffy. We need to see that. I mean, I'm just gonna wait and see how this plays out, and I'm gonna be back in like a few minutes. Right, so let me see here. I've come up a little bit more in premium than I like, but that is also building well with Dixie trading inside that. So we need to see how this is an influential point here to see how we really react from here, and do we need to show reaction higher or trade lower. I'm gonna manage this trade based on what the Dixie is gonna do, of course. That goes without saying. So let's see. The thing here is, when I was coming up as a trader, right? When this candle was right here, and even if it goes right here, you don't need to stress out. Because why? Let's get to the core of what trading is. It's probability, right? If you have let's say you have a coin that you're flipping, right? And if you have a sample set of about, let's suppose 50, let's see a coin flip test or something, I don't know. Coin flipper. Oh, I don't like this, bro. This is so bright, my eyes are getting fogged right now. Here, oh no, not that. I mean, I might have actually go here. Let's see. At the same time, let me just see what Dixie is doing really quick. Okay. Alright, let's see this coin flip, right? So flips, let's go 30, right? Make it nice. Do we have euro here? German euro, okay. Flip it. So we have 30 sample size, right? The flip at the end of the day is going to be about 50-50. So let's see. I mean, I'm going to take this as a head. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that's 14, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Did I count this? 14. So this is 14. And if it is 14, the rest is of course going to be 16. Alright, so let's see, 14 minus 30, that's 16. So it's close to 50-50, right? It's about like 51, 52, 47, something like that. But now, what is amazing thing about this is, let's say you have in a strategy, you have an edge. So you start, let's suppose you started this month rather, April. Let's count this as a loss and this as a win. So head is a loss, tail is a win. You had loss, you had loss, you had loss. You have 4 losses, bro. Now here, what many traders would do is they would either quit, or they would change strategy, or they would do something to recoup, or maybe convince themselves that they don't know anything, or maybe their model is flawed, or maybe they're not as good as they thought they are. But this is just a small sample of the huge sample you're gonna have at the end of the maybe month, you know. So 4 losses does not mean shit, because even if you have 50% win rate with even 16 to 14, you're still gonna be up like easy 5 to 10% over a large sample size. This is 30, right? Let's suppose let me do this. So a loss here is going to be -1. Let me just really quickly see Dixie. I don't want to miss out on a good framework if I do not see anything here. I don't like this, the way we have inverse this and like coming up, but we're gonna see how that reacts here. All right, let's. This is some really interesting thing. If you understand this, trading is going to be so fucking easy, man. Trust me. Let's let me take out my. How do I do this? Or you know what? Wait. Let me have a sticky note, right? And do this. Why do I even need sticky note? I just realized. So okay, let's get to it. This is loss, right? Head is a loss. Tail, this 1 euro is a win, basically the flip side. So we have, suppose this is week 1 and you have 1 2 3 4 5, you have 6 weeks of data here. Let's say this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you took one trade every day, so you have 4 losses on week 1. So you're gonna be, okay, take out the calculator. So you have 4 losses in week 1. Let's say you are not doing any risk management that I am doing, which is cutting my loss. If I do take a loss, I go like half the position size. So this is going to be -4, right? And then the week 1 you ended with -4. All right. Week 2 you have 1 2 3 losses. But the thing is, you have also wins. So let me, you know what? Let me just calculate the whole losses and then do the whole wins. I think that would make more sense, because if I do weekly, it would take a lot of time, and I also have to manage the trade as well. So I don't want to. See, the thing is, I know I'm going over the places like this and that, but trading is important here. If you do reject this, like do not respect this fair value gap, that would build well with maybe going a little bit more lower. For dollar would make them go higher. I'm just waiting to see. This is gold is going lower nicely now after rejecting that. USD JPY nicely. The thing is, I don't like this structure here. It's like really closed up in this range. Gold is trading lower nicely, but we are up against this fair value gap, which I do not like. If you do show some willingness to maybe trade lower, then I might look for something here. So let's see. All right, let's go. So we have 4 5 6, again it's 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 losses. So let's go, oops, -13, right? Because you're going to be risking what, 1%, -13. You're going to be risking 1% on each trade, right? And let's see the win. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So you have 16 wins and 13 losses. So 16 into 2, you're going to be taking 1 to 2, of course. So that's 32 minus 13. So you are 19% up. Now think about this for a second, please. You're 19% up with all these losses. Like, think about this, how powerful this is. This is 50-50 though. This is not even 60. It's not even 55. It might be 53 because of the 16 to 14 ratio. But you need to understand that you started the week with 4 losses. Now, had you not stuck with your model, you would have been like literally, you don't even know where you would have been, because you don't know what you're working with. But if you know what you're working with, and if you know, okay, on large enough sample size, I'm gonna be up positive then negative. Even with 50-50, bro, you are up 19%. Do you understand this? With 30 trade sample, have you ever, like, think about this, have you ever taken a trade thinking that okay, I'm not going to be worried about the next trade, I'm going to be worried about the next 30 trades. Have you ever thought that? No, you have not. I can bet you have not. Because if you had thought that, you would not be here watching me, bro. You would be here making money, literally. So you need to understand this fact that losses, losses every week. Let's suppose this is the first week I took 4 losses. Am I crying about it? If I take all these losses, am I crying about it? I'm not. Right? The next week we take one win, let's suppose on Friday, and I have 4 losses. That might make me feel like okay, at least I had some positive to end the week. Next week I take a loss on Monday. So think about this: 4 losses, 5 losses. You have one small win here. Are you gonna be going nuts about shit, man? I lost last week. I lost like 4 trades, and right at the beginning, I'm also losing like on Monday. Is my strategy fine, or am I not profitable anymore? You know, you have these thoughts in your mind that you need to compress and don't let down, because trading is not going to be next trade is going to be a winner. It's more going to be next trade sample is going to be a winner, because on the longer enough time frame with an edge could be 50-50. You could literally trade support and resistance with this idea and still make money. Like, I'm not saying you can't. Even you can make money on coin flip, like literally. So you cannot have this unction of like, am I losing? You know what I mean? Like, is this profitable enough for me? Get that out of the way. The sooner you do that, the sooner you're gonna make it. So 4 weeks or 4 losses, 1 win, or you had a terrible week here. You might think, but if you look at longer enough time frame, you're net positive. Okay, and the next week you started with loss. You are depressed. I hope you're not, because human psychic is to avoid pain, right? And in order to avoid pain, the next trade you might do something stupid here because of these losses that would impede your growth for over 30 trades. This is so important. Like, I've discounted this for very long. Then you had a win, then you had a win, and you feel like okay, maybe I'm getting out of this. Bam, hit with 2 losses again. Does that deflate you? Why should it? You should just follow your model blindly. Execution is king. You just have to execute. You don't have to think. That's the main part here. I mean, of course, if you're discretionary, you have to have a framework to work with. But once you have the framework, you just have to execute. That's it. Not a good looking 2 weeks, right? The next week you take a win, you take a win. You're like, okay, maybe this is gonna end. Then you take a loss, and then you take 2 wins. Now, in this week, you might be, oh shit, I might have figured it out. Like, am I the best trader here? Let me just text real quick. I don't like this. Am I the best trader here? You might have a little bit of euphoric here, like, am I the one who figured out the market? And the next Monday you take another when you're like, shit, I have actually figured it out. And then you take a loss, and then you get into a depressing state again, like, oh shit, man, I thought I figured it out. But that's not how it works. You're just trading sample size. This probability. It's not an absolution. Next trade is a loss, boom, who cares? Next trade is a win, next trade is a loss. Look at how the things are spread out. But over the longer time frame, you're coming out 50-50 on this. So it makes no sense to be emotional about it, right? Next week begins. Again, you have 3 wins. Monday and Friday was loss. I'm not saying this is Monday, Friday. It's just like to make it more sensible here. And again, the next week, 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 wins. So over the long enough time frame, you're gonna be positive if you just follow this strategy here. That's how it is, man. That's literally how it is. Let me see what Dixie is doing. I don't like this, man. Like, it should have already expanded higher. How we have gotten this. Now the thing here is, for me, this trade looks good. Why does it look good? We have shown respect on this. The next draw for me is at least this fair value gap and this high. Right on 5 minute. If we can close this 5 minute, come back inside this would give me about 10 pips of stop loss and somewhat of this target. So I'm also going to execute on this. I'm going to take this trade out now because it has not showing any respect on these levels. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to close it early there. So this we close it right at reduced risk. All right, and then let's see what do we have. I only have one more trade left for the in the bag. So if Dixie is gonna be trading higher, the next hour is gonna be closing in about 5 minutes. Okay. I mean, this draw looks really clear. You know what I mean? If I'm looking at this trade does not really. I like this trade, to be honest with you. So I'm just gonna get in this with my risk management, of course. So let's see. Of course, I have to manage risk as I go along USDJPY. Spreads are looking not too bad. It's alright. I would have something like this. So let me see. USDJPY 97 is it trading at right now? 98.1. Okay. Stop loss 149.802. no, I just realized my mic was off. Wow, I've been talking for so long, and I just saw my OBS, my mic was freaking off. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing, bro. I just dropped. I hope what I talked about was not muted. I hope this was not muted because this was so important lesson. I need to rewatch it today's stream and see if I did fuck up here. If I did, I will talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, what I was talking about, bro, I had like things coming out of my mouth which was just spontaneous, and I didn't even realize my mic was off. Which happens, it's all right. So again, this is the trade I'm in, and yeah, I think we took a loss here, which I've already put it in the group for the trade recap. Aussie, I was talking about how Aussie does it. Even it did yesterday that it went for T premiums, and even today it went for D premium, which is, I mean, understandable because of the range we are in. Like it's not as clean. It does seem to spot. Now here is exactly what I'm looking for. Like this, that is the play. That is the play, bro. It might not come up there with 50%. If it does, that would be a good setup, but I'm not going to take it because I'm already on my second trade for the day, and I do not take more trades. Like I just take 2 trades, and if I take a loss, which I did it, and again I was talking about how this was not a loss of -1% because I managed my risk. So had I been in this range here, I mean in this sample size, let's suppose this was my third trade, I'm not out at -1. I'm out at minus, I think 70, minus 0.70. It's not even one full loss. Now, when I take a profit, I have 2%. So if you do the calculation and not -1, minus 70, 0.70, I'm going to be more than 19. I'm going to be more than it because why? I've managed my risk and I let my runners run to 2. That's it. You see how easy that is to just take everything out and just focus on this. That is the amazing thing about trading. Man, I don't know if bro, I had a lot of things I was talking about and my mic was fucking off. That is just crazy, that is. Alright, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee and then let's see what this does. I mean, it looks like it wants to expand higher with the development of structure, Dixie trading higher. It just seems too good to not take it. So let's see how this develops. I've already, I think, put it in. Have I? Yeah, USD GPY long. Already put that in. So yeah, I'm gonna be back in like few minutes. All right, I'm back, and seems like we have been stopped out. Nice. Actually, I have not been stopped out, but that would mean I am stopped out because I would not want price to be where it is. And that's it. That's the day. Now, am I crying about it? See, this is a part of trading where nobody really shows or talk about. Am I crying about it? I'm not. What was my risk really? Let's see. I took two losses, right? The first loss was 0.75 70%, which I took a loss, and the next loss, which I went in with half the risk, so this is 0.50. What is my loss really? Let's calculate, right? 0.70 plus 0.50. I'm just down 1.2%. Now, is this, think about this. I know traders who lose about 50% of their portfolio in just like one session or one day. Me, I just lost 1.2% with what? With impeccable risk management. Impeccable risk management. I love my risk management. I don't care about losses. I've already put this in this right here. If you go to useful tips here, you can see even with 10 losses, if you manage your risk nicely, you're always going to be down. You're not going to be down much, minus 3.5%. This is on live, by the way. This is not like funded account. If you're like trading funded, maybe you can risk more because you want to pass those phases. But on live, you always only minus 3.5. With like 5 trades, you can get up to 4, and you're already up 0.50. So that is what I mean. I'm not crying about it. If anything, I'm happy. I'm happy about what? Now see, this is where you shift your mindset from being in a state of depressment. I mean, depressment, is that even a word? Depression. Being in a state of depression versus looking at the positive side of it. Now, if I was a trader who was new, I would be looking at this and being, oh shit, man, I lost like money today. It's not the good day, you know what I mean? But on the positive side, if I see, I know I managed my risk. I took what my model said to take, and I only took 2 trades per day. That is it. I don't care what happens next. I'm gonna tape read it. Tape reading is good that you just get in tune with the model. But then again, I'm not gonna execute on my account. Maybe demo trading is also fine. If you want to have that urge, you can just demo trade it. But you need to understand, you need to look at the bigger picture and not this small 1 2 3 4 5 trades. This is nothing. Literally, this is nothing for me, and I know it's nothing. So let me just also put this in. Now, I know there will be guys who just are new to trading, and they would look at this and, oh bro, you are unprofitable. Oh bro, you don't know me. You have no idea who I am. So just shut the fuck up. This is USD JPY. I think, yeah, that's it. USD JPY. So we had 2 losses, but these 2 losses were managed nicely, and that's the thing I'm happy about. I'm not concerning myself with, man, I lost money today. It's not how it works here. So oops, I mean, it's already what, 9 here. We took that high out. We now have not respected this, so the next draw would be lower, which would be what, risk off, risk on. If it is risk on, that shows, of course, Aussie would trade lower, which we did. Just gonna be tagged in this and then trade to these lows. Beautiful right there. Beautiful delivery on Aussie. Again, this is what I was expecting when we were like right here, but it just tends to go in premium more because see, the delivery is not as clean, right? It's like wiki, so it is expected to go towards these highs and then trade lower. And again, if you see that, what is that? Market maker sell model, right? If you go on the low enough time frame, you will see that consolidation, accumulation, smart money reversal, low risk sell, reaccumulation of shorts, reaccumulation with the stop hunt. So this is the leg I was on for the trading lower, but it just went for the second leg lower on deep premium and then trade lower. But still, you see the logic playing nicely here. This is what I'm happy about. This excites me. Losses, I don't care. So this was nicely done here. Dixie is like in a range. Now gold is a bit fickle here. I don't like it. The only thing would be if we do respect an opposing fair value gap on hourly and roll over. But then again, I need to see Dixie showing some good retracement higher. That would make more sense. If you see, we are already tapped inside this hourly fair value gap here. Now if we do accumulate here, that would build extremely well with the gold trading to these lows here. So if we do like something like this, an inverse or break structure of order block and anything, but that would build well with this. If I have a 4-hour level, which I do not, and this 4-hour also has not been tagged, right? If you see over here, yeah. Also, what do we have here? Equal lows, right? And we have small fair value gap below as well. So this is a good level to look for if we do inverse this. It is just reacting off of this 15-minute, which is good. If we do, wait, let me put this in. Gold levels for London. So what I'm looking at here is basically this small fair value gap. If you can see this, if you can close under with this order or fair value gap on hourly as well on our side in like 8 minutes, that would build well for an expansion lower to this level, at least 2 to 4 hour. So this is the only thing I'm looking at gold, because what Dixie's showing a good rejection on this hourly fair value gap as well, trading higher. If we close this below that, something like that would be the ideal case, which is like we come down, react in this order block as well, and then of course trade to these lows, something like that. But we need to see how the 15-minute is gonna close for this to be. So I'm just gonna take this out and see how this closes in like 7 minutes and have more what do you call it, more confidence in this. Let's do this with 10 flips, right? Because maybe for a new trader 30 trade sample would be like a lot. Let's do with 10 and see. 10 is basically just 2 weeks of data here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 1 2 3 4 6 what do you call it, 6 heads and I think 4 tails, right? This is loss, this is a win. This is week 1, this is week 2. Week 1 you start on Monday, you took a win which is +2, and you took 2 losses on the week. So what you are now, mind you, this is 50-50 though. This is not even 65 or 70 or not even 55. This is 50-50, right? Because a coin flip is a 50-50 game. +2, -1, -1. And I'm not also managing risk here, as in like if I took a loss I'll go a little bit less risk I'm not doing that. I'm just going like 1% cap, literally like 1%. That's it. Plus 2, -1, -1. So you are what? Break even, like net zero here. Plus 2, -1. So you are +1 for this week. Right? Now plus 2, -1. So you are +2 because you have +1 here, +1. So you are what? +2 here. And then +2 again. So you have 4%, and then -2 is there. You are 2% up. So let's suppose if you are trading live with all these losses in place, you are still 2% up. Now, if you think 2% is less, I don't think you know anything about trading, because 2% is not money. 2% is just a percentage of however capital you have. Let's suppose if you have 10k, 2% is 200. Now, if you had 100k, this is 2000. At this time in age, with like prop firms and everything, having like $1 million in funding is not a big deal really. It's just a numbers game that you work towards it. Of course, you have to train your mind to not be that impulsive when taking these trades. You just have to get close to those numbers. Not close to, I mean, you have to get comfortable with those numbers, even if you're like, especially if you're doing a job, because having that kind of money right off the gate just seems unrealistic. But again, 2% is not money. 2% is percentage, right? It could be of any level of account. 2% on 500k is 25,000. Oh, sorry, that's 5%. 2% of 1, 2, 3. That's 10k. Now, think about that. 2% with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses and 4 wins. Do you think that's a bad week or bad like 2 weeks here? That's not a bad week. It's just that you are undercapitalized. You understand? Like, this is not a bad week if you just follow your model. And again, let me tell you what, this is 50-50, bro. If you have 60%, which is doable, the results would be a little bit more skewed in your favor, right? Let's do flip again. Okay, let's see here. This week, -1, -1, -1, -1. So you have what? Four losses here and 1 win. So you would be -2% for this week, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 losses again. So basically 8 losses, which is -8. And let's see. So 8 losses, right? Yeah, 8. So -8 plus with -8 plus 4. You are -4% for these 2 weeks. Now, -4% is nothing to come out of. If you manage your risk nicely, it should not be a problem. Now let's flip again. This is, you know, you having a bad luck really, like literally 5 losses, 6, 7, 8. 8 losses, and again, I mean, it's the same literally. So -4%. So you are -8% without managing your risk. You're not managing your risk at all. You're just going for like 1 to 1%, and then 1 to 2. That's it. Let's flip again. Bro, is this like biased here or what? So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4%. -4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6, 7. This would be some sort of a break-even week. So you would be maybe -1% here. Flip again. Now this is a week that's in your favor. Let me see gold real quick. Yeah, we have not closed it. Now that's a week in your favor. Now this is 50-50. You need to understand again that it's not like so let's see, you -9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 into 2. 8 into 2 is 16. 9, 10, 11. -11. And you are still 5% up. Now see, this is with big sample size. Now, if you were in a week that was before this week or the one before that, bro, you would be shitting your pants, because those losses, and if you are not managing your risk, and if you don't know your edge, And if you are strategy hopping, it will mess you up. It will mess you up really bad. So you need to understand what trading really is to its core, and not mean like you're just gonna make money all the time. And again, flip again. 1 2 3 4 5 3 4 5 6. So you are 5%. 6 into 2, that's 12. 1 2 3 4 minus 4, that's 8, plus 5 that we have previously, that's 13%. Now on a longer enough time frame, your equity is going up. But if you see trade by trade or week by week even, it might be looking like it's going deep down in and stopping you out. But if you keep executing, it's gonna flatten itself and then exponentially trade higher. I mean, I don't know if I might have gone really deep into this, but I just wanna, like, I know, bro, I really feel for those guys who are just coming up, and I just love to give this out because I wish somebody gave it out to me like this. Because if you see on YouTube and everything, they just talk about like how we make $1 million from like $100 account. Like, sure, if you have a lot of money saved up, right, sure, you can gamble that way, and of course make a good YouTube video for that. I'm all for it. Even I would do it, right? But again, trading itself, that is gambling. I don't consider that as trading. If you're going for like huge risk, you cannot never make it as your sole income, because that's never going to happen, bro. At least not for like 99%, or maybe 99.99%. Maybe there's like 0.01% of traders who might pull it off, but that too is debatable. But for an average Joe, and I consider myself an average, I'm not saying that I'm freaking best here, but I know what I'm doing. That is what defines me, and I know who I am. Anyway, so this is spelled out really nicely, and I just want to, give it. I just wanted to explain this to like somebody who's extremely new and having problem with losses. So I like this closure here for this 15 minutes. I like something like this for a sell. Let me see dollar really quick. Yeah, I like that. I like this trade here. Stop would be right here, and 1 2 2, something like that would do it. Tape reading gold, and this would be the only thing I'll look for now. I cannot take any trade here since I am already capped out for the day with 2 losses. So yeah, I'm just gonna see this how this plays out, and I'm gonna be back in like few minutes. Let's see what I can do here. This is USD JPY. That's an ugly delivery. That's a really ugly delivery. Now this might be the trade I just got caught in because of this ranging. But again, you learn every trade you take. This was good. Now gold, I want to see a little bit more expansion higher if it wants to respect that hourly fair value gap, and if it expands higher, that would build nice sell off on gold as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna monitor this. Again, I'm not taking this based on that, but it just jumps off the chart. Consolidation, first leg accumulation, Second leg accumulation, smart money reversal, low risk sell, but that took out this. uh, First leg of manipulation for distribution of shorts here, and the second leg I'm looking something like this to clear out this consolidation here. So this is like a market maker sell model on a longer time frame, which is I think, I mean, yeah, it looks better on 3 minutes here, as you can see. So if it comes down, taps me in for this trade. Even if it doesn't, that's alright as well. But I just saw this, and this was actually the good entry here. Like on this fair value gap here as well. I might have missed it, but the logic is what I'm playing with. So yeah, let's see. Alright, since we have left this structure here, if I was taking this trade, I would go in like this. My stop just above. And 1 to 2. This would be something I would look for then. Alright, this has already been transformed here, so let me just see real quick. 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, yeah. Wait, where was that entry? On 3 minutes that was, okay. Yeah, we didn't have anything on 5, did we? But that was a clean looking trade here. USD JPY has just broken down, which is expected. Dixie is still looking to expand higher. That would build really well for gold to take out these lows here. Would be just amazing if it did. USD JPY, yeah, this is just ugly now. Let me see USD CAD. Wow. Now the thing here is USD CAD is trading higher while no, okay, that's fine because Dixie is also trading higher. Okay. No, this was clean, but we did not have USD CHF. Let me see what this guy's doing. Yeah. There's still nothing here that makes sense. We do have equal highs here. But yeah, there's no structure to work with. NZD. Oops. Hourly, 15 minutes. I do see this as a sell here. But the only thing I'm concerned is we did not tap this. We did on Aussie though, right? This was the trade I was stopped out at because it went for deeper premium. Right here. Let's go to 5. Alright. Dixie is trading higher. Gold is nicely going lower. I don't want to take something here because we have left this level of interest, so yeah. But this was good to know that we are expanding towards the levels I'm looking for. What time frame there? About this lower. Again, if you see closely, what do we have? Consolidation, expansion, first leg of accumulation, and there was only one leg. Smart money reversal. There was no. I mean, you can consider this as a lowest sell here, and second leg of reaccumulation for shorts to get to our consolidation. So this is smart money sell model again, but I'm not trading sell buy models. It just comes out because the way I'm trading, I've noticed that I'm always in the last leg of accumulation for either of the curve. So this is basically a sell curve, so that's where I am sometimes. I mean, not I've seen most of the times this is where my trades are, which is interesting because I can spot it looking at it, but I've never actually made a conscious effort to go and look at it. It just happened to be where I'm trading. That's interesting. Let's see if we can hold these levels and trade to these levels here for an expansion lower. That would build well for Dixie to to shoot above these highs here. And if I were to go to 1 minute, let me see if I have any structure point looking over here. I like this here. Wait, that right there. Which is again in these wicks as well. Something like that. If you do expand higher though, on if you see 5, the structure has shifted bullish, but again we are just inside this high to low, with Dixie being respecting this fair value gap. The only logical expansion on this side would be to trade at least to these highs and this one. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm also going to be monitoring this just for the study sake. Alright, what do we have here? So we took out this low and then we just come up. So that is nice to see. And if I were to look at, I mean, I don't have anything anymore. The fact that dollar is just consolidating in this range, and we have what, 240, let me see, 240. Yeah, this could be a good draw here for USD JPY. So let me just take out everything now here. So what I mean is basically coming up inside and then trading this lower. So would be something to look at here, because this area was not delivered. This would be something I'm looking for. I will just put it in. Oh shit, I didn't put the gold one. You just put that in. And let me put USD JPY here. I think that would be it for this session. Again, there is literally we have like 1 more hour for the session close, but I'm just going to monitor this at I'm just going to be muted. So let's see how this develops, because this looks really good for what this is looking like. This would be a really good setup here. This would be like an A+ setup if we do get it. 5 minutes. I don't mind this sell here, this low, and stop somewhat here, but I'm gonna see how we go about this. So I'm just gonna be muted and seeing how that develops. All right, so I think I would close this here because it's gonna be 11 now. This is what I'm expecting, so I'm gonna put this. I think I already put it in. So if this pans out or if it trades there, I'm gonna post it in trade recap. So that's it for the day. Risk was managed beautifully. We took 2 losses, but the losses were not as big as it was all managed perfectly. So I'm happy about it. And I think that would be it for today's London session. We will talk tomorrow, London. So have a safe day, man. Take care.